Well, hello there. How's everyone doing?
Oh my God. Did you all just catch me while I was at home just lounging and looking through my growler pictures and stuff? Is that what you did? You just caught me off. I'm sorry, you caught me off guard. Let
That's
me
what we
scroll on.
did.
Let me scroll on up and scroll past the nasty pictures that they provided for me. I'm just gonna go down. Oh, there we go. Oh, there it
Alexa,
is. All right, okay.
den off.
So, what's going on? How y'all
How's
doing?
everyone doing? I'm so excited to be here.
Oh my God, really?
Uh,
Oh my
oh
God, girl.
my God.
Like, but this is so different from like last week and stuff. Like, I
I
mean,
mean,
it's
like totally, because I mean, I have like on like a totally different shirt and
I
like a
know.
totally different undershirt, and you've got on a totally different, like super silky, shiny
It
outfit.
is, isn't it super silky? It's super silky and super shiny and super chic and
I
super
mean, I
cheap.
love it. I love it. I mean, I just
It's,
love it. Oh my God. You're
I'm so
amazing.
excited.
You're amazing. I mean,
And
you're just so amazing.
I
I mean, you're
don't
not
don't make me
amazing.
blush.
You're
Don't make me blush.
amazing. You
Don't make me
are
blush.
amazing.
So, okay, all right. Yes, yes, I am. But listen, I gotta say,
Uh-huh.
I
Uh-huh.
have been, I have been inspired by there are
Uh-huh.
other like man moo caftan people, and
Yeah.
you are definitely one of those people. Like, I don't want to, I don't want to say anything wrong, but I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna say this. I don't want to take it the wrong way.
Okay.
There is a caftan that you have. There's a man moo that
Uh-huh.
you have that I would totally steal, totally steal, totally steal.
Oh my God. That is like the nicest thing someone said to me today. That is
I
like
mean,
amazing. Thank you so much. I mean, like I just love you. You're just like amazing. You're
this is
amazing.
why this is why we get along. Oh my god, this
We
oh my
do.
god,
We
I can't
totally do. We totally do.
I
Like
can't I
totally.
can't.
I see Joshua and I like see eccentric and
Oh
like,
my
oh my God,
god,
up. Oh my goodness.
they're all here. Oh my god. You know, I was talking to someone earlier, and I thought that he might
Uh-huh.
actually show up. They still have show up. You know, Seven might actually show up into the base for a minute. I don't know.
Oh
I
my
do so
God, I cannot believe it. Like, not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, not six, but
not six,
seven.
7.
Oh my
I'm just
God, seven will be here. Oh my God, I can
I'm
barely
just
say.
saying.
I'm so
Oh my
excited. I
god.
can just spit. Oh my
And there's
God.
best friend. Hi, best friend. Hey,
Hi,
best
best
friend.
friend. How are you, best friend?
Period.
Hi.
Hi. What's
All
going
right.
on?
All right. So I'm good.
I mean, it's all right. Hey, eccentric. Hey, Joshua. What's going on?
You know,
It's
Jerry.
Wednesday, y'all. It's
It
Wednesday.
is. And
It
it
is.
has
It is the.
already. Oh no, I did not show him the pic yet. Let me open it up, eccentric, and then share it with the kids. Hold on.
Am I getting
Keep
ready?
talking.
What is?
No, it's not
No,
that
no.
kind of picture.
No, no, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna wait because I'm gonna see what this is. I need to balance my emotions so I can figure out how I'm gonna react to this. So I'm gonna prepare. I'm gonna prepare. I'm gonna center myself. I'm gonna be back at
Mm-hmm.
one.
You're gonna get yourself, and you're like 5, 4. Come on, there we go. All right, so let me get back to you, and I'm going to present, and share my screen. Gather yourself now. Gather yourself. All right. So I'm going to share, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to add to the stream. And there we go. It is a chicken head, a screaming chicken head flogger. Just what you always wanted, right?
So wait a minute. So now my question is, does it actually make noise?
If I don't think it does, because the chicken in its mouth is preventing it from doing that. But if every time you flog someone, it was like, I would get my entire fucking life.
Baby. And I don't know where I think I've seen these before or seen a picture like this before. I don't even know if I really realized that they were floggers, but I'm like, really? But okay. All right.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Right. Essentially, if they made the noise, can you imagine a scene where you get everything all set up and get the girls all excited, and then you hit them the first time, and then it goes, I live.
Like, I'm out. Like, bitch, I'm out. Bitch, listen, right. I'm
okay. Thank you for playing. Lovely parting gifts. But I must go.
Yeah, I'm out. And as a matter of fact,
you are giving me foolishness.
If we're at a hotel anywhere or something where it's going on, bitch, listen, I'm going in for a run. I'll be back when you get finished. And there he is. Hey, Seven, you are in. Yes, you did get it right. You're here. Yes, you're in. You're in. You're in. I don't think you ever had anybody ask you that. Did they say, are you in? Is the Seven? Is that the first time somebody asked you that?
No, we've seen Seven without clothes on. They'll know if you're in. You'll know if Seven's in.
Okay.
Maybe I remember that one year when Seven just decided he didn't want to wear no clothes at MAL. And I was like, oh, Seven, I guess you are happy to see us all.
I mean, listen,
it is what it is.
Yeah, he will drop. Listen, you say clothing optional, he's coming through with absolutely nothing, right, or not even lotion. Like, I'm out. His option. His option is having Johnny Walker Red in his hand. That's his option.
Exactly. Hold on, y'all. I think Trina made a song about him. They call it Big Dick and Long Balls. Big Dick, Long Balls. Big Dick, Long Balls.
Listen, it is what it is. I'm off camera for a second because I'm tending to my Porky Chadwick. So give me a second. I can hear everything. Give me a second.
Girl, you're supposed to have this done. This is not good TV. You are not fucking Ina Garten. Get your shit together.
Listen, do you know how much money I spent on these motherfucking pork chops? Now, damn it, I started.
You should have been giving the pork chop before the show started.
Now that we in a day in my kitchen, this is real life. That's what it is. This reality TV, bitch.
It probably don't even taste good no way, since you ain't got to share it with nobody.
Use a lie for God. Use a lie for God.
Probably like that nasty ass cake you make all the time.
It's just as good as that old nasty motherfucking hot punch that you make.
Now, I know that's a motherfucking lie because you leave drunk off of that shit every motherfucking year.
Bitch, I'm drunk before I got there. How the fuck did I find a difference? Yeah.
Ain't nothing as good. It can't be as bad as that dry ass potato salad that you push off on us every fucking year. Oh, no, that's somebody else. No, that's not the potato salad. That's that nasty ass cornbread. Thank God we ain't never got to deal with that no more. Child, she used to bring that cornbread to every function like she was doing something, and that shit was so dry. So dry.
I cannot with you. I cannot.
And I could not with that cornbread. And anybody who has been to an Onyx Mid-Atlantic function, not recently, but 5-7 years ago, somebody would always bring this dry ass, nasty ass cornbread Well, because it don't cost but $1 for some fucking Jiffy cornbread mix. So of course, that's what they bought.
Leave it alone. Leave it alone. What did you expect? I mean, see, let me stop.
Right. Well, I ain't got to stop shit because fuck her. So what's she gonna do now? She gonna slowly shake her hand and slowly like slap me in the face, girl. Fuck that.
Man, I fucking hate you right now.
Y'all fuck her and her flavorful friend.
Oh my god. Oh.
Exactly, 7. You remember? No, the hot punch that he's referring to, the punch that he loves so much is the hot apple cider. Exactly, 7. Like eating the Sahara. Child, you would eat that cornbread and it would dry all of the moisture out your mouth from fucking meal.
Listen, we got the seasoning to juice ratio going on.
Right. So anyway, dear, how was your week?
My week has been good.
Good.
I am preparing for this procedure I'm having on Friday, where I've been calling it, I guess it's London Bridges or maybe Eiffel Tower or a threesome or orgy, whatever you want to call it. But I'm going to get it from both ends. And
so it's a Friday.
So I've been okay. Well, yeah, and okay, yeah.
Like a regular Friday.
And so that's what we're preparing.
Is this gonna be at your house?
Huh?
Is this gonna be at your house?
No, this is gonna be over at the hospital center. So I'll get it done there, and then I'll come on home and afterwards. Because
so you meant a procedure. I thought you meant the girls was gonna gut you from both ends.
No, I'm having a procedure, honey. I told you I'm having.
I don't know. Listen. The girls be trying to act like they aren't whores and be like, no, I'm just having 25 of my closest friends. It's epic 75 load weekend. I mean, baby, I thought maybe you were having a few injections, a few protein injections.
So the procedures that I'm having require me to get all cleaned out. Like I can't eat anything all day Thursday, all day tomorrow. So I probably would be ready for like a 75 load weekend. House and ever. We're not doing all that.
Your next 75 load weekend.
I've never done a 75 load weekend. I have done
the most you've ever done is 50.
Let me see. I know where was the most. The most I'd ever done location wise was up in New York. Actually, it was that brownstone thing that we did. That was the most I'd done at that weekend. Yeah.
You was letting them girls nut up in you like that? I'm sorry. My apologies. That sounded like judgment. So let me rephrase that.
It did, and it was, but I did.
Let me rephrase that. Girl,
and I did.
Sorry. Hold on. Let me try to make it sound less judgmental. Bitch, you let all them hoes nut. Oh no, so that's wrong. Okay. Listen.
Take 6. Take 6.
Okay. If you want to let all them hoes nut up in you like that, more power to you. Couldn't be me, but more power to you.
That was the least aggressive but judgmental way that you could actually say that. But it's okay. It's all right. It's okay.
Right. Look. All I got to say is God rest his soul. At least you didn't shit on the girls.
Listen, and the sad part is at this point he would really talk about this. So I'm gonna go ahead and say it.
He mentioned it freely.
Yeah, our good Bristol, I swear to God, he was devastated. Like he was devastated. Like I done came out of the second floor, or I was on the second floor, and I came out of the second floor. I was like, bitch, I got my life, and I'm standing, and I'm looking at him. I was like, what's going on? He's like, bitch, something terrible happened. I said, what do you mean? He said, bitch, did you hear all that noise? I was like, yeah, I heard all this noise, but I heard it was like somebody had an accident or something. He was like, bitch, it was me. I was like, bitch, what do you mean you had an accident? Did you fall? He said, no, bitch. He said, bitch, I thought I was trying to fart a little bit. And he said, bitch, it all came out. I was like, Bitch, what?
Because so it was in the dark room, right? And I went into the dark room after the event, not knowing who it was. And I walked in there and I was like, and then so I sort of left and didn't talk about it. And then as we are walking back from that brownstone to the subway, he said, "What happened?" I was like, "Bitch, that was you?" I was like, "Oh, girl, you are dying."
But see, but here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. As a good barista, I was sitting there and I said to him, I was like, and he was distraught. He was like, listen. He said, bitch, that was me. I was like, oh my God. He said, bitch, listen. He said, I'm ready to go. I'm going to grab my stuff. I'm going to go back out. I was like, no, bitch, that's not what we get ready to do. See, first of all, we're in New York.
So no one actually knew who, I guess, other than the dude that was actually got shit on. But other than that, no one really knew who it was. So
listen, all I know is I was like, bitch, you're not leaving up out of here. We're in New York City. We're in
you're going to walk out of this room.
But
you
listen,
are going to hold your head high. You are going to go to that bathroom. You're going to grab some wet wipes, and you're going to sit there and just chill for an hour, and then you are going to get right back on that dick, bitch. That's what you're going to do.
I said some of that, but not all of that. What I told him was take your ass to that bathroom and go and wash your box out. Now go downstairs and buy one of them jocks, and then go back downstairs and have fun. That's what the fuck I told him, and that's what the fuck he did. And he's like, right. I'm so glad I did that because I enjoyed myself and I was having a good time. And I was like, right, bitch, right. But listen, when I tell you the way he approached me, he was so upset. He was so upset. But I had to get them together, and it's like, girl, listen, this is what it is. It's always a hazard of the trade. It just is what it is. Like you going in that shoot, then it's always a possibility. You can do all the preparation you want to. Your body could just say, "Fuck it, I ain't cooperating." So
right,
it just is what it is.
Then, so someone that we know. So basically, here's the backstory. Someone that we knew through a sex party at a brownstone that they rented on Airbnb in Brooklyn. And so I'm just imagining like it was me. And so this was like on the main level. So this was like probably like someone's living room or something, or their study or whatever. And they came home and it was like, I know it was like, I feel like when I walked in out of it, like, first of all, this whole house smelled like ass. Just like generally, this house smells like ass now. And then second, I would have gone into the study and been like, did somebody shit in here? What the fuck? Baby, I would have wrote his I would have lit his Airbnb profile up.
Listen, all I know is I wanted to make sure that my barista was okay. I was like, bitch, this is what we get ready to do. Because he like, and the thing is, like, listen, we've all been places and literally and figuratively shit has happened. But baby, it's just a matter of how you clean everything up and you push through. Like you just figure it out. But baby, he was distraught.
Because he is a professional.
Listen, I get it. Like, bitch, listen. I'm going to tell you right now, I'd have been sliding on the wall like White Woman in Crisis on a Lifetime movie in the shower. Baby, I'd have been like, no. And again, but you know, everybody is different, and I understand that. And then, you know, at that particular point in time, he was having issues. He wasn't quite.
Just grab you got your hand covering your breast and your jockstrap in another hand. You just run out of the room screaming like, no.
Exactly.
I'll never live down this shame.
Exactly. But again, you know, a lot, and honestly speaking, now that I think back on it, a lot of that stuff for him was actually medical because he was going through the beginnings of this whole phase of like all the stuff that was going on with him.
You know, some of that diabetes medicine. Well, listen, because you know, if you take that medicine, some of it just naturally makes you go. And sometimes I will be somewhere. If you ever see me be like, hey girl, I'll be right back. And you be like, hey, where you going? I said, I'll be like, I'll be right back. Know that if I do not leave right this second and find my way to a bathroom, it's about to be ugly. And it's always someplace. It can't never be like, oh, we're in the lobby of the Waldorf Astoria. Let me go take a dump. It's always like, we're in the ghetto Walmart and we know the bathrooms is filthy. So my body will be like, bitch, are we in the ghettoest Walmart in the city? or we're like, are we in the bathroom at Union Station?
Oh, bitch, no.
You got to go right now. Like, okay, girl, maybe I can hold it till I get home. And your body snatch you up by the throat, bitch.
Like you going right
now. You got 30 seconds.
Baby, listen.
Get to this bathroom.
Baby, I've been in that predicament where you count down, you're like 27, 26, 25, 24. You're trying to get it. As soon as you sit down, it's like boom, 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 boom. You're like, ooh, thank God.
And with these diabetes medicine, it ain't no boom, 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 but it's like a stream. It's like liquid. Your whole insides have liquefied and are falling out of your body.
Listen, I know what that's gonna feel like because tomorrow I have to do this whole. I have to do the cleanse and the Dulcolax and everything else, and they have to be clear broth and all this other stuff. So, and the last time I had a colonoscopy,
stock up on Jello and clear broths.
That's what they said. Listen, I got enough broth and stuff up here, but listen, I'll be drinking some motherfucking water and calling it a day, and I just the fuck. Listen.
That's what they say. Because at first you're like, okay, girl, I'm sort of gone. It's not too bad. I'm gonna eat me a little Jello and drink this clear broth, but bitch. By like hour 10, you'd be like, if I never have clear broth again in my life, it will be too soon.
Well, and then the other thing is they told me specifically not to get any red. They told me certain colors of juice not to drink. But they did tell me that as long as if it's a clear juice.
Exactly, Seven. Vodka's a clear liquid. It is.
And I may have a shot that morning. So we'll see how that is.
I will not have a shot this morning, not until afterwards.
Well,
because you don't want nothing to fuck up your system. Because alcohol will dilate your blood vessels, which makes it easier for you to have internal bleeding.
But here's the funny part. The funny part is they said specifically not to have any nuts. They said nuts because they wanted me on a low.
Well, there goes your sex life.
They were saying like no nuts, nothing green, no lettuce, no tomatoes, no fruit with seeds. Like this whole list they told me. Okay, cool. So then I'm sitting there thinking like at the beginning of the week, I was like, oh, I'm good. I was like, all right, cool. I know what I can't eat. I was like, I just eat something. This is me.
But that's just like for 2 days before, right?
No, that's for all 5 days before. Like I started.
Oh, wow. Shit. Okay. Because they just told me that I couldn't. Like I had my last good meal. Like if mine was Friday, my last good meal would have been yesterday. And so today it was like 36 hours or something. So like today at noon until my procedure, I would have not been able to eat anything other than the Jello and clear liquids.
The funny thing is they told me to start that. They told me to start that tomorrow. Their instructions. And so at 3:00, I'm supposed to take the first Dulcolax pill.
They don't give you whatever that stuff is where you get it in the jug, you add it to a gallon jug, and then you add the rest water. Then you got to chug the whole thing. Then like 6 hours later, you got to do it again.
That's the Miralax. Oh my God, I just coughed up and gave myself a headache. That's Miralax. And I have to drink that with some Gatorade tomorrow. And when I do that, it can't be. There's certain colors I can't drink. So like the red and the purple and all this other shit. So I gotta go get that. It's like 72 ounces, the 64 ounces of fluid that I have to drink with the Miralax.
Okay.
So, but yeah, hold on 1 second. But yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be pretty interesting. Oh God, it's gonna be pretty interesting. We'll see how this is gonna go down. But when I come out, I'll be spick and span, and we'll go from there. But I gotta stop eating. I mean, I'm eating tonight, but
yeah, because pork chop is not a clear liquid.
You know, I'm ready to fuck this pork chop up. And like I said, she was thick. And she's a little juicy too. And she's still covered up on the stove. And I put my lemon and my garlic on that bad boy and let that thing listen.
Hey, Spesh. Oh, that's right. Do you still need me to take you? I forgot all about that.
So I asked 3 people to see what their options were, and I haven't heard from one of them. So I'm going to start crossing them off the list. If you are going to be available, great.
What time?
I will confirm. I have to be there tomorrow at 8. I'm sorry, Friday at 8. Excuse me.
8 a.m.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that. I'll scoop you up and then drop you off, and I'll just have my laptop and just be working there at the hospital.
So listen, because they're doing both, they said it's going to be somewhere between 5 to 7 hours. So okay. I'm going to tell you to go to.
So I will drop you off, come back home, or actually I'll just go to the office and then I'll come pick you up. That's fine.
Yeah, and then I can do that.
What hotel? What hotel? What hospital are you at?
I'll be at the hospital center. That's where my doctor is.
So we are going to pray.
Stop it.
We're going to. Everybody, I want you to reach out and touch the TV.
We're gonna take all of the blessings that we can get.
This is a blessing. This is a covering, a protection.
That particular location is actually pretty. And because the other part would have been had I went down to GW. This person that I have that I'm getting it done, he's been doing this for several years, so I'm very comfortable with this person. So I'm
it's not your doctor, it's the facility, but sure. I'm sure you'll be perfectly fine. So yeah. So yeah, I'll pick you up. We'll talk about that offline. So okay. Someone in the chat asked, what happened to your good Judy from Guam?
Okay. So did we talk about this last? I don't think we talked about it fully.
We did talk about she got the return to work and she did not return to work.
Maybe she got that return to work letter that was dated and she should have been there on August the 4th. Mm-hmm. And April the 4th. On April the 5th, HR sent that paperwork up. Sent me a copy of that paperwork that was sent to her saying, you were scheduled to report to work by April the 4th and you did not. As of today's date, you have been terminated. Please turn in your ID, your keys, your laptop, and everything else. And should you have any further questions, you can speak to my boss or anyone in HR. Thank you so much and have a good day. I was like, are you fucking? So then I'm sitting there thinking like, okay, well, what do I need to do? Like as a supervisor, when HR handles it, like if I'm firing her, that's something different. When listen, They done already supposed to deactivate her email. They should have sent her the box and sent the laptop in. Baby, I like these types of firings. Like, if that's what y'all gonna do, I ain't gotta do nothing. Listen, I'm good. Now, right. What I did do yesterday and this morning was look at the job description, and I was like, oh, it's all good. Send that thing right on down to HR. So I don't know when they're gonna post it, but maybe that she's on the way down there because I was looking at that job description saying, okay, well, we're not changing anything. We need to edit nothing. Send it right on out. So, but I expected her, as she said, because she was coming back into the country on the 16th, I expected her to show up at work. And what she said, which I'd heard through the grapevine, because there's a couple people that are in the area that she's in, was that she was going to show up and go straight to HR and try to get her job back or whatever. I was in the office on Monday. Mm-hmm. I ain't seen her. I don't know if she showed up or not.
I don't know what she thought was going to happen, because when HR makes a decision, unless the HR, the Black Degree Factory, don't have their shit together, child, this is a done deal. This is not a negotiation. This is no like, okay, I'll do better or whatever. Girl, they have washed their hands of you. So
well, and so 7, yes, Guam is a U.S. is a U.S. territory, but the problem is what we have of a telework policy, and this is I'll explain all this to you later. But what we have as a telework policy does not allow you to be outside of the DMV area.
And you should know, you work at a university, and unless the whole school is remote, then your ass need to be there, especially if your job was director of operations. I don't know how you can be director of operations when you are like 13 hours time difference from the organization that you were operating. So yeah.
So listen, I've already put in a call to a couple people that I know that have been doing similar work, mm-hmm. And we used to work together. And although it's not necessarily totally my call, but they do need to go through that whole process. So I've already scheduled some interviews for Wednesday. So we just trying to move this thing right on along. That's what we're doing. Right. So unfortunately, she is no longer with us. She is let me be clear. She is a phenomenal she's a phenomenal and gifted technical writer. She is a process-oriented person, but the problem for her is she has a lot of other issues that keep popping up that really shouldn't be issues, and it affects everything that she does. So I don't know. Hey Bougie. No, girl, I did not, because we already talked about this money situation. It wasn't going. It's going to be playing in your face. So but we can have a conversation. We can definitely have a conversation. But I'm gonna tell you right now, it is not giving you what I think you might be what you're looking for. I'm almost certain of that. Like, listen, I'm sure it's not.
So exactly, Michelle. I'm still on the Guam of it all. It's just the audacity for me. It's just the audacity to think that you could be on the other side of the planet and still do this job. It's just the audacity for me.
But the other part of that too is the reason that she actually she put Guam out there was because her husband was stationed in Guam.
Baby, well, your husband has girl, take your ass to Guam and stick on by him. So I hope he make enough on his military salary to support y'all.
Yeah, his orders had them required him to be in Guam. Your orders ain't had nothing to do with you being in Guam. So this is a voluntary trip. And the thing is, even if she had done it correctly, and I don't even necessarily know if there is a correct way of doing it, it might have been able to work. Let's say if you were there for a week or two, or maybe even, like a short period of time where it was like maybe 30 days, maybe it could have worked. But baby, you wouldn't even give me the basic things that I asked for, which was 1 week a month, starting in the month of October. I had to fight you for times that you were coming in October, November, and December. And then when you said that you were going to be shipping out, it was sometime in January. You didn't quite know what the date was. I said to you, why don't you just take the first week in January? Because this way we can say that you were already here. Because if you get pushed out or they ship you out or whatever towards the end of the month, you've already done your time in January. You've already been here. But no, she decided not to do that. So you've missed your job for the middle of December on to the end of January, all of January, all of February, all of March, and all of April. That is 5 months.
Right. Exactly, man. Michelle. Give folks a blade of grass and Bama's want to hold on. Exactly.
Well, but unfortunately, she is no longer with us. But I say all that stuff about her because she's, I don't think that if she's looking for something that she won't find something really quickly, especially within the any college or university setting. Maybe even doing some of what she was doing currently. But she also has an admissions background like I do. And so she can definitely make it work. In fact, if I remember correctly, she has the same title that I have at one particular point, which was a director of admissions. Mine was not on the undergraduate collegiate level, but it was at a nonprofit that did placement for students into work positions and internships and things of that sort. So I don't know. She will be fine. I hate that this is how we had to do it, but she will be fine.
So I'll tell you how my week was in a minute, but this reminds me, there was somebody on my team that was just not working out, and he quit like 30 seconds before he was about to be fired. Like the shit was already going slowly south. Then some shit happened on like a Wednesday that made it go all the way south. So Thursday morning, I had already coordinated with him. And as I'm walking towards him with this letter saying, you are out, he gave me a letter saying he resigned. Okay, girl, that makes it real easy.
So much.
No notice. He didn't give 2 weeks notice, so he wasn't qualified for rehire, but there was no way in creation we was ever going to rehire him. So like a year later, I get a call from somebody saying, yes, Mr. So-and-so is applying for this job. And, he put that he used to work here and you were his supervisor. what could you tell me about him? I said, because HR tells you, you can't just start bad mouth. You can't be like, that motherfucker was the worst bitch I ever worked with. I wish if I could, I would salt the ground where he lives so nothing will grow. So you can't say none of that. So I said he was employed from this date to this date. Do you think that he would try to harm the United States or would be an agent of a foreign power? And I was like, that motherfucker could barely breathe. He ain't trying to, but then I ain't say none of that. I was like, no, he would not do that. So he said, now, what about his character? I said that, all right. So I was looking to characterize my words real carefully. I have demonstrable evidence of him lying about things on the job, and on more than one occasions, he was in dereliction of his duty on the job. And that's all I can say.
That sounds like it was a federal government job that he did not get.
I think he actually did, because I don't know. I didn't follow up with it because I don't keep up with the girl. I just told them the truth as I saw it. I told HR before I had the conversation. I'd already talked to HR, so I was reading from a script. So like all of that dereliction of duty and all of that was exactly what they told me to say. So, and I said, I am reading to you from a script because I wanted him to understand that between the lines, this motherfucker wasn't shit. But I was like, I said, I have, discussed this with HR. So I am telling you exactly what HR told me to say. Because, if it's a good person, you'd be like, yeah, Epic's a great guy. We were sorry to see him go.
The blanks.
Right.
Fill in the blanks.
Like, that motherfucker worked here from this date to this date. How good of an employee was he? That motherfucker worked here from this date to this date. That's about it.
Oh my God.
So how was the rest of your week?
It was good, but here's the thing. In what I do, because I this on the I'm on the finances side of the brain factory and all that good stuff. We have all these new people coming into the Black Degree Factory coming in, and everybody got their hand out because they want more. They're like,
oh, how did that day go?
More. The things that I asked for, the basic things, was a table with an extension cord and tablecloths for all of my people so that they don't run out of juice for their laptops. They didn't even have those. Not to mention that I asked for us to be to make sure that it is the temperature is controlled, because we are in a room that all of a sudden it's hot. And the reason why it's hot, because they never turned the damn air conditioning on that side of the building. And what happened on that day? No motherfucking air conditioning. So I'm pissed off because everybody's talking about my department or my what we don't do and how we don't do this, that, and the other. But yet and still we're here. Everybody else is not here. People are coming up to us, asking us questions because we're the first people to get set up. And we probably shouldn't have been here till about 12 o'clock anyway. But okay. So now we got to tell people where they're going. They're like, do we know where? No, we don't know what that is. I'm sorry, ma'am. I don't know what to tell you, but you can find someone from this office. They can help you, all day long. I got through it and it was good. It was cool, but I got through it, but it was just very, very annoying. And it's one of those things where it's the first time I've done it in this capacity for the Black Degree Factory at this particular point. So listen, you already know I have all these thoughts about how this is going to go next year when it comes back around again. I'm like,
of course.
So
you gonna have a writer. You gonna have a writer like J-Lo. I'd be like, we must have purple M&Ms.
Baby, listen, let me tell you something. My whole year started off from in August. I'm giving myself 1 year so that I know exactly what's going to go on at what time and how it went. Like, okay, no, we're not doing that. This is what we're going to need. This is what I'm trying to be as sweet as possible. I'm making my alliances with people. I'm talking to people, getting, going behind the scenes, getting shit that I need to. 1 year, baby. After this 1 year, it's gonna be a whole different. It's gonna be like, that's not what we're doing. We can't do it that way. I don't want to do that. Nope. That's not what we're doing. Last year when we did this so we're not doing that this year. Is there another option? No, I don't. There's no other option for us. If you wanted to participate, this is how we're doing it. And so I will have these same conversations because my boss, the director of our office, and the person that I report to are both like encouraging me to speak. And I was like, I keep telling you all, don't do that. They're like, well, no, I was like, I'm telling you, please don't do that. Like you're telling me that
you're about to let the monster out the cage.
I keep telling, like, don't do that. Don't tell
you
me.
Go walk in one day. You go walk in one day with an open back headscarf and big sunglasses with your purse, like, Natalie, where's my coffee? And it was like, why isn't anybody working?
All I know is I've already started throwing shit away, clearing files out. Like it is. Listen, I'm never going to say that I'm the most organized person. I'm never going to say I'm the neatest person. I'm never going to say that at all. But there's a point where it's like, you can't even function in this. Like, what are you, how do you, it's got to go. Are we using it? Have we used it in the last year? It's got to go. Is it in an off? It's got to go. If it's paperwork and has like PII, personally identifiable information, it's got to go in a file cabinet. We don't have a file cabinet when we're putting. So I'm already on this thing of like, so I'm already reorganized the office and shit. Like, but I keep trying to be very cognizant of how I come across to even to the staff that report to me right now, because they're asking me questions because they're frustrated. And I'm like, let me apologize to you all up front because I don't know what the answer to that is, but I'm also still learning at this particular point. So I apologize, but I'm going to tell you, I know just the fuck as much as you do. Excuse my French.
Right.
They're like, well, what?
So stop asking me for shit. Get out my fucking face. Damn.
Like, I'm trying, like, so I get it and I understand it, but I'm like, So I'm a work in progress. We'll see, but that's how the week has been, and we've had a lot of stuff to do, and we're approaching that May 1st deadline. So have a lot of crap to do, and now they just threw something else on our plate. So now we got to call people and talk. But my week has been fine. So enough of my week, honey. How was your week? Let's go with that, please.
Work has been interesting. So remember our buddy where we had to have the official performance management discussion?
I do.
So while there was some improvement, so see, first of all, the way my boss operates is that if you do something major wrong and it rises to her attention, then you have dug yourself a very deep hole to get out of. So you got to literally do everything perfect to make up for that.
Okay.
He's been far from perfect. So for every, and it's his own fault, because for every scoop of sand that he puts into the hole to get back up to the top, he then digs himself like 2 feet deeper with some other foolishness that he keeps doing. So I keep being like, well, look, he's doing this good thing. And then Angelia's like, yeah, but he did this other thing. And then, so like the last straw, we work in the office, but we have to go out on construction sites. So, and we work for like redacted railroad is not we don't take out policies with like Geico. We are self-insured. So if you get injured or when there's a derailment or whatever, Amtrak pays for that out of pocket, that we are self-insured. So because of that, because of the projects that we work on and stuff, the safety culture is like that. Like, so like you got to have your hard hat, you got to have on your steel toe boots, your eyewear, your vest, your everything. They have literally well, not thrown, but they have said to executive vice presidents, you can't be on this site because you don't have the proper the hat. You can't roll up here in your penny loafers. I don't care if they're $4,000 shoes. They're not steel toe $4,000 shoes, so you can't be on site. So yesterday, we're on a construction site in the thing. He didn't have his protective gear. Now, Every week we say, make sure you have your protective gear because you will be thrown off site. Make sure you have your protective gear. He didn't have it. And the boss was like, dude, why you don't have your stuff? Oh, it's in the car. Well, you know, I know she was in her mind, she was like, well, fucking go to the car and get it. But it was somewhere he didn't have a key to wherever. It was something. It's always an excuse with this brother. Always an excuse. And it's always like a dumbass excuse. You know, and it's because it's not like, oh, I left it at home, which is sort of, you know, sort of fucked up. It's like, oh, it's in the car, but it's in the back seat, but I drove my mama's car instead of my sister's car. It's always some nigga excuse. You know what I mean? It's just like, God damn, brother. What the fuck? And it's just like, so then after and he knew that we were going on a walkthrough today. This is after yesterday when she looked at him and she was like, through gritted teeth. Now I wasn't there, but this is what she told me afterwards. So I can picture it like, every time we go on a construction site, make sure you have your hat, hard hat, your vest, and your steel toe boots.
You was giving very much of Bill Cosby right there.
And they went on a walkthrough today. And then, so she's like, hey, I need to talk to you. She was like, when you're free, ping me. So I pinged her. She was busy. Then she said, when she came back, she was like, hey, come with me for a second. So we went to her super secret office. Because she got like 3 offices.
Secret
in the same building. There's like the office with the glass window, and then there's the 2 other offices that she used to occupy, but no one else lives in. So one is like up in the penthouse, and you know, it's like up away from where people are. And she was like, yeah, it's not working out. Because we was on site again today, and he didn't have his PPE, personal protective equipment. So they're all the way on this side of the world. So since he's a fucking PM, they literally got in a company vehicle, drove him back over to the garage so he could get his stuff. When the specific direction was given yesterday to keep that shit at your desk so that whenever you need it, it's always there. I was keeping my stuff in the car, but I was like, yeah, maybe I should just keep it in the office, because even if I'm going on the train somewhere, the train station is right next to our office. So you just stop by the office real quick, dip upstairs, go get your shit, come back down and get on the train, you know? So she was like, yes, it's not working. And by this time I was over it, because working with him, it's like if he was an intern or someone fresh out of college, maybe only with like 2 or 3 years of experience, then like the question that he has and sort of like the coaching and stuff that you need to go through with him will be okay, because you don't expect him to do that. But I'm like, dude, your resume says you've been doing this for like 15, 20 years. And I am coaching you like, or having to coach you about stuff like this is brand new stuff. And I'm like, I can't do my job for having to do your job and look after your stuff. And we told him, like, when we had the counseling session, it was like, if I got to do your job and my job, then we don't need you. So
which is my black ass is doing the operations job right now, but okay.
That's exactly. So the bottom line is that Friday is his last day.
Listen, I'm sorry. I also have to add in there. There's somebody else we got rid of in the office as well who fell in that same category she did. So 2 of them are gone at this particular point.
Right. And so I was just like, I didn't want to do it, but like as days went by, it's like people would ask questions. So like he's in the meeting, right? So he's leading the meeting, and he clearly has not prepared to lead this meeting ahead of time. So the question from the last meeting is, you know, what is the status of the purchase of the card readers? And another thing, so this is like a personal thing. He reads out loud.
I was waiting for something silly. Okay, all right. Well,
so Like literally, like you'll send like, hey Derek, what's the status of so and so? And he's not like reading to me, he's reading to himself out loud. And I'm like, it's this is am I'm like looking around for the camera, like, am I being punked? Is this like a hidden? Is there a hidden camera? Is there a hidden camera? Is that a camera? And so like he would just be like in the meeting, like, what's the status of this? And he'd say, Epic. What's the status of the procurement of the card readers? And you would be like, I emailed you that information earlier today. So he doesn't read his emails. Oh, so, I'm trying to like coach this brother. So I'm like trying to walk him through how to do something. And so I asked him to share his screen. And I was like, Derek or Guy, we're going to redact that part out. I mean, it's live, but he don't watch the show. Dude, you have 195 unread emails. First of all, I have 230 emails, 30 of which are unread, but I manage him and I manage 5 other people and a total of like 75 projects. And I still have anxiety about having 200 emails in my inbox. How do you have as many unread emails as I have emails total and you're only managing 2 projects? So that means you don't read. If the emails are unread, what does that literally mean? You have not read your email, so you don't know what's going on your projects.
Yeah.
And then, so like we're talking about something. So like sticking with Epic and this card reader. So I was like, so what was Epic's status on the card reader? So if you ask me, so like if my boss asked me, so what's going on with the card readers? Well, bitch, I got a folder for this project already in my email. Let's go through, even if I don't remember it, which I probably do already, but even if I didn't, I got a folder for card readers at Union Station. This motherfucker has all of his emails in one inbox folder. All of his emails. And then he tries to sort through it. And I was like, Derek, you need to have folders in your inbox. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, if he was like first of all, I feel like people do that with Gmail. So that's like that's not like a revolutionary concept. Like, this nigga is on a horse. It's not like a revolutionary concept to manage your email inbox by having folders for you. And I'm not even talking about rules that automatically shunt emails to the boxes, like you read the email and then you put it in a fucking folder for that project. So it was just like all of that. And at some point, because I was trying to give him, the discount, and like I'm gonna help this brother out. I'm gonna try to make it work. But I'm just like, I'm over it. And so I was going to stick with it for like a little while longer, but when the boss was like, yeah, it's not working for me. She was like, but it's your call. I was like, oh, you ain't saying nothing but a thing. So you going to notify his company, or am I? Luckily, he's a contractor, so he don't even have redacted railroad equipment. He got all of his own personal equipment. All he got to do is leave his hard hat and shit.
Yeah, I was about to say, the funny thing is he don't know where the fuck that at anyway, and it's not at his desk. So I mean, like,
no, he had it because they drove him to go get the shit today. So I made sure to say to him at the end of the day, hey, just remember, leave that stuff in the desk because he ain't gonna need it after Friday. So that's how that's gonna go. So anyway, so that's that. Also, we have been having an issue with this other person. You know how you sometimes work with some people? Some people are good partners, and you can be like, if you're like, hey girl, here's all of the access to, all of the files or whatever. And they're like, oh, okay. And then when you're like, oh, well, the drawings are here, or the memos that you need to do are here. And they'll be like, well, where are the memos? And I'm like, bitch, I just gave you access to the folder. And there's a folder literally in that folder to say memos.
Find it.
But she wants you to like, no, you need to go to this memo and stuff. And I'm like, girl, I don't, the fuck. So working with her was a whole mess. But she doesn't work for me. She works for a team who's like a partner to us somewhere else in Redacted Railroads. So anyway, one of the guys that works for me, so I'm like the senior program manager, and he's a program manager. So he was caught on a hot mic talking shit about her after the end of the meeting because we record our meetings. So
bitch, a hot mic will give you all the top, bitch. No, I'm walking away, bitch. I can't.
So Angelique, my boss, calls me into her office, and like she had this like serious look on her face, like I rarely see. So I know something was wrong, and I was like, "Shit, what did I do?" And I was like, I did not. And I was like, "What did I do?" She was like, "So and so and so were caught on." We all recognize that this person that they were talking about is difficult to work with. Like we'd already asked for her to be removed from various projects and stuff. So it's all recognized that she's a difficult personality to work with. But anyway, so then she calls me to the office and said, so and so and so and so were caught on a hot mic after a meeting talking shit about her. And then and she was like, people are saying, you know, maybe the people that said it don't like black women. And I was like, I know the one guy is racially ambiguous, but I know for a fact that his mama is Puerto Rican and his father is black. So if he don't like black people, then he don't like 3/4 of his own family. So, but that's neither here nor there. But the other person that he was having a conversation with is white. So it's a racially ambiguous person and a white person talking about a black woman. And so they were like, oh, then maybe they don't like black women. And I was like, see, you know, I'm always down for the struggle, but whenever like black people are always like, oh, they don't do it because I'm black. They don't like me because I'm black. And I was like, no, maybe it's because you're terrible at your job. Maybe.
Yeah. Asshole has no color.
Right. It's more that. It's more that you're terrible at your job and you happen to be a person who's terrible at your job who also happens to be black. And I'm not going to not say that you're terrible at your job because you're black. But anyway, so then I'm like, girl, what the fuck did they say on this call? I was just imagining, because I'm imagining what I would have said. I'd have been like, that bitch, that fucking bitch. I fucking hate her ass. You know, I can't stand working with her ass, her dumb ass, because she keeps saying the phrase is bill of materials, BILL of materials. Mm-hmm. She keeps saying build, BUILD of materials. So she don't know what the fuck she's talking about. It's like a guy, you know what telephony means, right? So it's like the area of telephone management. Like there are people at Amtrak that say telephony, like seriously, like without irony. And I was like, bitch, you are in charge of this shit? The fuck? So anyway, so we hear the recording, and here's what they said. They were, because apparently in the meeting that they had before they, you know, when they were actually recording it, this girl popped off at the mouth and was saying crazy shit. Not like she ain't called nobody a bitch or curse, but she was definitely out of pocket she had like raised her voice and was saying all kinds of crazy shit to people. That's not my job. That's not my responsibility. When in fact, actually, dear, it 100% is your responsibility. And so she was like yelling at the guy. And so afterwards they were like, why was she yelling at us? What does she think she's talking to? She was wrong. And I said that she was wrong. And the other woman was agreeing with her. And then when I heard that, I was like, they ain't even say nothing.
Right.
They're making it sound like they cussed this woman up one side and down the other.
If that's all they said, that I didn't hear nothing from that.
I didn't hear nothing from that. So I was like, oh, well, then the conversation I'm about to have with the guy that works for me is entirely different. Because if he had like cussed her out or something too tough, then he might have got fired. But I was like, he didn't even say nothing. My conversation with him consisted of, at the end of this meeting about a month ago, you was caught on a hot mic. If you need to talk about people, make sure you end the recording, hang up, and then call back whoever the fuck you want to talk to.
There it is.
That was my entire counseling on the subject.
There it is.
That's that.
A hot mic will get you in trouble every motherfucking time.
Listen, and you know what? Neither me or the boss was too fucked up about it, because I'm gonna write something in the chat. So we're having this conversation, right? So let's say you're talking, and then this pops up on the screen, and then I'm like, Angelia, we can see what you're typing. And then she's like, oh. So we've all been caught on a hot mic, or you're presenting and your screen pops, because you know how you're presenting, right? And then you're having a conversation on the side with somebody else, and that shit pops up on the screen. And she's like, don't say nothing to me while I'm trying to record, while I'm trying to message the meeting. If you got some shit to say, if we're gonna talk shit about people, we either talk shit about them after the fact or text me. Don't say that shit on Teams.
Baby, I did that last week with my boss. I was asking her a question about something that popped in my head, and I forgot that she was on Teams. And so when I sent her a text message, I sent her a message, and I thought it was coming up on her phone. Baby, it came up on the laptop, and I was like, shit. And so here she is. She's looking at me. It came up, like, she was like,
So neither me nor my boss could get too mad at them, because we've been caught out there several times like that, where you're presenting, you're presenting on, we got like 3 screens. So you're presenting on one screen, you got Teams open on another, but not realizing that when the message pop up, it pop up on all your screens.
Baby, I want to get rid of that so bad. And I'm trying to, one of my coworkers showed me that it's a setting in it. And I was like, she said what to do. I haven't gone back to do it, but I need my messages and stuff to not pop up when I'm on a call. It's annoying. It's absolutely
right.
But that's
especially since you did talk about people. So anyway, so then outside of work, and so best friend knows this guy. Best friend, long time ago.
Hey, Master Mac, what's going on?
Hey, Master Mac. Tell Parker we said happy birthday. I think it's
yes. But wasn't Pixel's birthday as well?
Apparently they got Pixel on Mac's birthday.
Okay. Yeah. Well, happy birthday to everybody.
Yes. And so best friend introduced me to this photographer guy in New York City. And we talk occasionally. We've hung out a couple of times, but he introduced me to this guy who's doing a documentary on the leather community. So I schlepped up to New York City to participate in Pixel's birthday is July 28th. But anyway, happy birthday, Parker.
Happy birthday.
That's who that is. Robert. That's his government name.
Oh no, I got it.
Oh, okay. So anyway, so I've slept up to New York City to do the interview. It was cute. We had a good little time. It might be, they're still sort of putting together the funding for it and everything. But, I already got my red carpet outfit together. So, I'm already, ready to go. It's going to be half Billy Porter, half Lil Nas.
But aren't they kind of like the same person, but just in a different time frame now?
Oh, no. So it's going to be half, it's going to be like tuxedo ball gown, but like metallic gold with platform sneakers. So that's the kind of aesthetic that I'm giving.
Okay, but I feel like each and one of them would wear both of those things. But I get it. For description purposes, I understand it. But it does sound like the same person, just in
right. And so I did that, and then a buddy of mine came up for the week, for the night, and so we were going to hang out. But baby, we were both getting old because we were so fucking tired. I was tired because I walked like the 2 miles from my hotel to where the interview was, and then I walked back from that. So before we'd even got the day started really good, I had ridden the train, 4 hours to New York City, and then walked 4 fucking miles. Then we went to the fucking New York Auto Show, which was cute, but more walking. And then by the time we finished that and we ate, and then we was like, okay, where are we going to go tonight? And we was talking about it. And then I was like, so I need a disco nap. And then as I laid it down, I was like, so how am I going to break it to him that I don't want to go out tonight? Baby. But then I was like, girl, we came all the way up to New York. So I was like, all right, if we go out, I'm saying like an hour and a half, and then I am dipping it back to lower Manhattan to fall asleep. But we got back to the room like 8:00, and we said we was going to get up and be downstairs and ready to go at 10:30. That bitch messaged me at 8:45, was like, yeah, I'm not going out tonight. And I was like, thank God, because now I don't feel so bad about my message that I was going to tell you that I didn't want to go out either. So I came back on Sunday, then had to be back in that bitch on Monday for work. So I went up on Monday, came back on Saturday, came back on Sunday, then went back up on Monday and came back down on Monday. However, I did find out something very interesting.
And
that is that Amtrak has recently started or resumed their Adirondack services. Bitch, shut up, Seven. I did not walk to New York City. I walked in New York City.
So wait a minute. What Adirondacks as in New York and what?
Adirondack, the Adirondack lines run from this Adirondack line runs from New York City to Montreal.
Oh.
So I was like, well, how much is this going to cost me? Because I'm an Amtrak employee, so we'll see what it's giving. It was giving free. But even if I had needed to pay for it, because I just looked it up online, it's only $140 round trip. So I'm officially announcing that you and I are going to be headed to Montreal. What?
Caravana? For the Caravana. Yeah. In Montreal, it's a Caribbean festival every year they have in Montreal. I believe it's Montreal, or no? But anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was actually thinking of Pride, but there's a number of things that we can go to. So, and their Pride is actually August 3rd through the 13th, and clearly we're not going for that whole week. But we could go. It's a 12-hour train ride. Now, I just want to be clear on that. But it's a zero cost 12-hour train ride. Cute with a rail car. There's a club car.
There's a club car. There's a club
car with cocktails. Tell me, is there a club car? There is a club car, darling. So if we went to Quebec, I feel like we could invite a few people to come with us. Not Quebec, but Toronto. And
so that's what I was trying to say.
Montreal.
Okay, because the Caravana I was talking about was in Toronto, but that's another story. But I'm sorry.
I speak the international language of love, Seven. I have a penis and I am Black.
Right. And no, I don't speak French, but again,
and I know how to use it.
Yeah, we can. The last time I was in Montreal and then also Quebec, I was able to get around quite well.
Yeah, and I'm sure. I mean, yes, it is the second largest French-speaking city in the world, next to Paris. But I'm sure plenty of people will speak English there. And I'm gonna be all right, bitch. Google Translate on my phone, and I will be like,
come on, eccentric.
I'm gonna be like, where is the bathhouse? Like, Le bathhouse, whatever, so I'm gonna be able to figure it out. I'm gonna have Google Translate. It'll be right on the top of my screen, and I'll be ready to go. So we will figure that out, and then once we figure out exactly when we're going to go, we're going to let the kids know, so that it will be a lower there's a lower bar to entry than going on a cruise. So because you can get to Quebec, to Montreal, however you want. You can schlep with us on this train, because right now the train is only 10% full. So all you got to do is have a passport.
A 12-hour train ride with the right people would be everything.
Yeah, because girl, you know what I'm gonna do? I am going to take a Tylenol PM when we get on that train, which is going to knock me out for 6 of those 12 hours. I'm gonna have a meal, and because you can bring whatever the fuck you want on the train. So ain't nobody telling you can't bring some liquor on the train. Right. Oh, she's a fancy bitch. She done poured her liquor in decanters. I love that. Come on with your Thunderbird in a crystal decanter.
It's not Thunderbird.
It's champagne.
It is Wild Irish Rose. Get it together. I am classy.
Right. All right, well, let's get through these stories because it is 9:09.
Oh yeah, we've been gabbing away. Okay, so all right, so really quickly, these are a couple stories, and some of these are long, but I'm gonna try to give you the juicy points. But this first article we found on USA Today, there was a LaShawn Thompson, 35, was arrested for a misdemeanor simple battery in Atlanta last summer. And he was taken to Fulton County Jail, where he was placed in psychiatric wing after officials determined he was mentally ill. Now, according to Fulton County Medical Examiner's report obtained by USA Today, he was found unresponsive in his jail cell September 19th and pronounced dead after failed life-saving attempts by responding local police and medical personnel. Now, the officer stated that it is unknown the last time that the decedent was seen, as the case continues to be investigated, and that was in October 26th. There were no obvious signs of trauma found on his body, the coroner wrote, but his entire body was covered in bed bugs. The report also goes on to note a severe bed bug infestation in the inmate's cell. Now, there are pictures to this in this particular article, and they look awful.
Yes.
Mr. Thompson was found dead in a filthy jail cell after being eaten alive by insects and bed bugs. This is what his family's lawyer said. Michael D. Harper, that's my cousin on my father's side.
Really?
Now, he said, no, I don't know them. Listen, the sad part is they could be, I don't know, who knows. Anyway, but they're asking for a criminal investigation into the matter, and they're going to try to pinpoint this to specific people and try to file charges or whatever. But again, there was some other information that was released by the sheriff's office, and it was saying that, according to this statement, they were saying that a full investigation was launched into the circumstances surrounding his death. And as part of the investigation, certain actions were going to be the action taken included approving an additional expenditure of $500,000 to address the infestation of bed bugs and other vermin within the jail, which is done in addition to prior cleaning operations targeting communicable diseases that are common in congregate settings. What? $500,000? Okay, all right. I'm gonna leave that alone. Updating protocols for security rounds to include addressing sanitary conditions. These are all the things they said they were going to be doing after these, as a result of this particular situation. Now, jail records obtained through public records requests established the detention officers and medical staff at the jail noticed his health was deteriorating, but they did nothing to administer aid to him or to help him. They literally watched his health decline until he died. And this is what the lawyer was saying. When his body was found, one of the detention officers refused to administer CPR because, in her words, she freaked out. The jail cell Mr. Thompson was housed in was not fit for a deceased animal. He did not deserve this. And this is what the lawyer said that the medical person said about this. Now, in addition, as I mentioned before, to a criminal investigation, Thompson's attorney said his family is calling for someone to be held accountable, as well as ultimately the closure and replacement of the jail. So we'll see how that goes. But baby, I will tell you, if you have a chance to go out there and look at this article on USA Today,
I saw the pictures. It was disgusting.
It was absolutely disgusting, and I felt so bad, so bad. This
is why, when your family is going through crisis, if someone in your family is going through crisis, do not call the police unless it's an absolute last resort. And listen, I know that, when people are going through crisis or whatever, but, if you can get them, knock them out, and I don't mean literally knock them out, but, wait till they fall asleep, give them a couple of pills or something, and then take them to a facility or something, but don't depend on the police to do it, because the police will not ensure that they get medical care. The police will treat them like a criminal, and they're not even like a regular criminal who is cognizant of themselves. And so that man wasn't even in the right state of mind to even protest any of this or whatever. So he's already not in his right mind, and his last hours were spent, in a cell. Just so yeah. So we should, the police, we already know the police are not your friend. And definitely, if you have a loved one in crisis, regardless of whether they're black, white, or whatever else, do not interact with the police system if at all possible.
Listen. So this next story, Washington Post posted it. The FAA grants SpaceX a license to launch its Starship rocket. Now, they on Friday, SpaceX, on Friday, the FAA granted SpaceX a license to launch its massive Starship vehicle, paving the way for a maiden flight that could come as soon as Monday. The flight is a test of the fully reusable rocket and spacecraft that NASA has picked to carry astronauts to the surface of the moon. It would be the most powerful rocket in the world. If the test is successful, SpaceX said it's targeting to launch during a 2.5-hour window that begins at 8 a.m. on Monday, with backup opportunities in the days to follow. Now, after a comprehensive license evaluation process, the FAA determined that SpaceX met all safety, environmental, policy, payload, airspace integration, and financial responsibility. And it said that it had carefully analyzed the public safety risks during every stage of the mission and required SpaceX to mitigate those risks. Now, the FAA previously granted the company a preliminary approval, but required SpaceX to take 75 steps to protect the environment. Now, in 2021, NASA awarded SpaceX a $2.9 billion contract to develop the vehicle. The space agency plans to use it to land astronauts on the lunar surface for the first time since 1972. Now, with the license granted, the nearly 400-foot-tall rocket is expected within days to lift off from SpaceX's facility in South Texas near the Gulf of Mexico. The spacecraft is scheduled to fly over the Florida Straits between Florida and Cuba and circle much of the globe before splashing down off the coast of Hawaii. Now, the booster is expected to fall into the Gulf of Mexico as well. Neither is expected to return to Earth for a soft landing. SpaceX chief executive and founder Elon Musk said he expects about a 50% chance of success. And he says, with a test such as this, success is measured by how much we can learn, which will inform and improve the probability of success in the future as SpaceX rapidly advances development of Starship. So listen, any of you all thinking about taking your Judy Jetson trip out to the moon or out into space? Maybe it seems like it's coming faster than we think it is. And so we may see it in this lifetime, or I may see it in this lifetime for it to happen, because I think it's going to happen, hopefully in my lifetime. I don't know if I want to go, but I'll see. We also had some information from Vlad TV. Dan Snyder had agreed to sell the Commanders to Magic Johnson. Now, according to reports, the Washington Commanders will soon be under new ownership, as Dan Snyder has agreed to sell the team in principle to an ownership group headed by Magic Johnson and Sixers owner Josh Harris. Now, the official price point for the team is a whopping $6.05 billion, which is said to be fully financed. However, the deal isn't official, nor is it exclusive, meaning other bidders, particularly Canadian billionaire Steve Apostolopoulos. I said that all right. I said it all wrong, I'm sure.
Apostolopoulos, probably.
Apostolopoulos, yeah, could still join in on the purchase. Excuse me. Now, whether the transaction is finalized, it will be whenever the transaction is finalized, it will be the biggest sale of a sports franchise in history, surpassing the Denver Broncos, who were recently sold to Walmart billionaire Rob Walton for $4.6 billion. So I don't know if we can say congratulations, but if all goes well, it'll be a future congratulations for Magic Johnson and Josh Harris. So we'll see how that goes. Some sad news. RuPaul's Drag Race icon Stacey Lane Matthews was admitted to the hospital. There was a post on the performer's official Facebook page Wednesday. The Black Swamp, North Carolina native received treatment for unknown reasons earlier this week. Someone posted and made a comment and said, yesterday, Stacey was admitted into the hospital, and they were asking everyone to please lift her name in prayer. And if you do not pray, they were asking that you please send positive vibes her way. Now, following this Facebook post, Stacey updated her Instagram account with an encouraging message on Thursday, writing, "Thank you all for the messages and donations. I love you guys. Thanks for those who stuck around me and didn't give up on me." Then she said, "Well, with all that's going on, this is my current situation. Thank you to those who've reached out, positive vibes." And that's what she wrote in another caption with a photo of her laying down in bed with a breathing tube attached to her nostrils. EW, or Entertainment Weekly, has reached out to Stacey for more information. They haven't gotten any comment back from her yet, but days before her hospitalization, Stacey shared a screenshot of her Venmo handle and asked her followers for support. She said, "Can someone help me get a hotel room for a few nights?" She said, "I have to get out of here. Mentally, I'm not okay." Anyone, and she's asking. Now, she had previously asked her followers to say a prayer for her as she sought treatment for a health condition in 2021. She also hinted at retiring from drag and amid struggles with finances and housing during the coronavirus pandemic. She finished the third season of Drag Race, and was in 8th place back in 2011. Now, she was winning fans for her popularization of the word Henny, which later became her nickname, as well as her performance in the season 3 Snatch Game when she played Monique. I don't necessarily know if that was one of her most memorable things. She did okay as it, but I mean, maybe I'm reaching. But yeah. But anyway, since competing on season 3, Stacey made subsequent appearances on Drag Race All Star season 4 during the Supergirl groups, Henny, the musical challenge, and in a small role as a court stenographer in the All Stars 4 Jersey Justice episode. So she's been around. You probably but again, at the end of the day, our prayers and well wishes go out to Stacey because we want her to do well. This story here. Okay. So CNN reported that Andrew Lester, who's 84, faces 2 felony charges: assault in the first degree and armed criminal action in the April 13th shooting of Ralph Yarl. They're saying that he will be arraigned Wednesday afternoon, according to the Yarl family attorney, Lee Merritt. CNN has reached out to prosecutors to confirm the information. Now, here's what happened. Ralph, who's 16, was shot in the head and arm after he went to the wrong address to pick up his siblings. Lester then told police he fired immediately after answering the doorbell when he saw Ralph pulling on the exterior door handle, according to the probable cause document obtained by CNN. Now, Lester thought Ralph was trying to break into the home and was scared to death due to the boy's size, according to the document. Lester has told police he and the teen did not exchange words before he fired at him through a locked glass door. And officers responded just before 10 p.m. that night after receiving reports of a shooting. When they arrived, they found Ralph wounded in the street. Now, the shooting left Ralph, who plays bass clarinet and is a band leader in school, with gunshot wounds to his head and his arm. While he was hospitalized, Ralph told the police he did not pull on the door. Ralph's aunt challenged the notion that her nephew's size could be a threat. She said, I really don't understand how. She said, I doubt Ralph is even 170 pounds. Ralph is not even 6 feet tall. She said she's on a mission to help get justice for her nephew. She said, I want justice to look the same across the board. I just want justice to look the same. Now, the teen had to run to 3 different homes before someone finally agreed to help him after he was told to lie on the ground with his hands up. And this is what a GoFundMe page started by Ralph's aunt states. Now, a neighbor who asked not to be identified told CNN she called 911 after Ralph came to her door bleeding. Now, since the shooter's location was unknown at the time, she was directed to stay inside she was directed to stay inside by the emergency operator and told her to wait there for safety. She said she complied initially, but then she went outside with towels to help to suppress the bleeding. She said, this is someone's child. I had to clean blood off my door, off my railing. This was someone's child's blood. She said, I'm a mom and this is not okay. Now, because of all this, Lester turned himself in at a detention center Tuesday, and then hours later, he was released on bail. The conditions of his $200,000 bond prohibit him from having any type of weapon and cannot have direct or indirect contact with Yarl or his family, according to the sheriff's office. Now, Ralph has been released from a hospital, but faces an arduous road to recovery, his family said. CNN has not been able to reach the homeowner. CNN is yet to determine whether Lester has an attorney. Now, the criminal charges have brought a bit of comfort to Ralph's family, but long roads lie ahead with Ralph's recovery and everything. And, you know, basically the family's just saying it's not that simple. It's a little better knowing that this person is getting part of what he deserves. But there are questions that remain over why he was initially detained but released a few hours after the April 13th shooting. The Kansas City mayor, Quentin Lucas, said that he shares the outrage and concern of many in asking why. Now, in Missouri, you can have a 24-hour hold, and it's clear that this was 2 or 3 hours where they questioned the suspect. He was able to go back home that evening. Now, the shooting fueled protests in Kansas City, stirred memories of Trayvon Martin and Ahmaud Arbery, young Black males who were shot and killed by men who later claimed self-defense. Demonstrators have marched through Kansas City chanting "Justice for Ralph." And the shooting also came days before a 20-year-old woman was shot and killed in upstate New York after she and 3 others accidentally turned into the wrong driveway. Ralph's attorneys say that the teen never posed a threat to the shooter. It still remains unclear whether Missouri's stand your ground law will be cited in Lester's defense case. But the stand your ground laws allow people to respond to threats or force without fear of criminal prosecution in any place where a person has a right to be. Listen, this is a lot. And it's a lot to unpack. And especially if you've seen the pictures of the young man, I do feel similar to the aunt to say his size was intimidating. This older man, who is 84, he's not necessarily a small person, but he ain't that big either. But I don't know. I'm trying to wrestle in my mind with this 84-year-old man that was thinking in the late of night, and he had also just woken up and he went to the door. So I don't know where this is all going. So yeah, I don't know, but this is, at the end of the day, a senseless shooting. I'm glad he was not killed. It's unfortunate that this other young lady was killed at this other incident that was similar to this. But I need people to start understanding that, yes, while you are in a place where you can defend your property and defend yourself and defend your person, is it really necessary all the time to do things this way? If a stranger walks to your door, like, I'm just trying to understand,
right?
Where people get off with, well, I felt threatened. I'm just stand your ground, and it's like, well, wait a minute, hold on. Why are you answering the door, number one, with a gun from the door anyway? That's my thing. But hey, I don't live in his neighborhood. I don't know what life is like. And as an 84-year-old person, which I don't know what that feels like, I don't know how I would feel. But I definitely know that I don't think I'm going to be. I don't know where I'm going to be at that particular point. But I just feel like the shooting first and asking questions later in this particular situation was not the answer.
No,
just leave it there. Lastly, in some sad news, Jonathan Majors was dropped by his management after this whole domestic violence allegations. Now, previously, a lawyer for Jonathan Majors showed alleged text messages from a woman who claimed that Majors had assaulted her. The messages showed the victim alleging that she was at fault for the incident that resulted in the actor being arrested. Now, despite the revelation, it appears brands and companies have begun to distance themselves. According to Deadline, Entertainment 360, the company that was managing Majors, has dropped him following the allegations. The drop stems from issues related to the actor's personal behavior. The lead company, a PR firm, also stepped away from Majors. Majors and fashion brand Valentino also reportedly came to a mutual agreement that the actor wouldn't be attending the Met Gala as a guest of theirs. Listen, Majors has been gearing up for an appearance in the Avengers, the Kang Dynasty, and it was noted that Marvel has initiated 0 conversations about dropping Majors. Stay tuned for more updates because, Marvel and Disney and that whole thing they are powerful enough to make the last minute decision to film the whole damn movie over again if they want to. So we'll see how that goes. But sad news for Jonathan Majors and yeah. But there are many people, even when these allegations first came out, that were saying, well, this is how he is. Everybody knows this in the community. Like, didn't you know that?
That was surprising to me because I did not, no one had said anything like that. But I saw some Twitter conversation that was like, people that know, going all the way back to his days at Yale, said that he's kind of a sociopath, that, this is, no one was surprised that this happened. And I'm like, that does not, what you portray, in the public. I mean, and a lot of sociopaths are very charismatic sort of people. They're very charming and whatever. So,
Yeah, I don't know. I wish him well because it feels like his star was just starting to rise and it feels like it's sputtering out already. And
I don't know that I wish him well. I wished for, if someone was victimized, I hope they get the justice that they deserved. And that includes him. So if this is a false allegation, then I hope then he's the victim. So that applies to him too. But if he's not the victim and is actually the perpetrator, then I hope he gets the justice that's coming to him.
That's it. That's all I got.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into this beautiful bean footage.
Yes, indeed.
Well, all right. I am looking forward to a nice and quiet weekend. The boyfriend is going to be heading down to North Carolina to hang out with his mama for a minute. And so I
Oh,
am going to have a lovely, quiet weekend. I might watch some movies. I got a lot of studying to do. Thank God someone's coming to cut the grass tomorrow because, it feels like George of the Jungle up in this bitch.
baby,
So,
listen. Have you? It's the Green Menace for me at this time of year. Like I'm walking around with or riding around with the damn Christmas card because I got a green sheen on top of my damn motherfucker.
exactly. There is pollen all on the outside and inside of my car. It's like a visible film on the inside of my vehicle.
It's a lot. It's a
Yeah.
lot. But listen, I'm happy to see it because without the spring, we don't have the fall, and without the fall, we won't have the spring. And the winter and all that. So I'm happy to see it. But
It's
baby,
the circle of life.
exactly. So right, bougie girl. He said boyfriend. Listen. He's in his. Oh, can we also talk about the fact that while I was not watching on a regular basis, I want to send a shout out or congratulations to the winner of RuPaul's Drag Race. Now, let me be clear before I say this name. I don't want if you didn't watch
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
you didn't watch the show and you don't want to know, I'm gonna tell you not to watch it right now. But what I am going to say is congratulations to the top four who were Anitra, Mistress Isabel Brooks, Lux Noir London, and also Sasha Colby. So those were the top four. I will say that. I'm also going to say finally because and each of them did a solo song. Baby, listen, if you haven't seen anything with these solo songs that they're doing now because they're not going up against each other, baby, you need to tune in to watch the winner and what their performance was. And I'm going to say congratulations to Sasha Colby because, baby, she did this song called Goddess. And Dominion, listen, it's not like it's a whole bunch, but it's the little things. There was 2 or 3 parts that I was screaming at my molecular level. I was like, I'm so gay. And here's the thing. Sasha Colby is a former Miss Continental. She has been she's like when people say your favorite's fave, like of all the drag queens and performers out there, Sasha Colby is one of those people that many of them look up to and say she's one of my faves. So your favorite's fave is probably Sasha Colby, and she came through and she set the bar and she ate it all the way up. So congratulations to her.
Congratulations. Yes.
Yeah, and it was cool. It was absolutely cool. So I appreciated watching the ending the way I did. So it was cool.
Excellent. Well, congratulations to her.
Yep.
Well, all right, kids. It's been a lovely, fun evening as always. I'm about to go eat I had a salad for dinner, so I don't feel so bad.
Wait. Can we put Bougie's comment up there for just a second? I just want to make sure I understand that correctly. Without fail, we don't have winter and parties.
Without fall.
I'm sorry, without fall, we don't have winter and parties. Someone comes late too and misses me. Well,
but it's not the lie, though.
You know what? You're right. But what I can also say is she wasn't there at the last time that I showed up. She wasn't there. And that's how we're going to end this note.
Well, all right, y'all. Thank y'all for coming out. God bless you and good night.
Love you. Mean it.